What do you want to do? Sounds like an innocent enough question, but it really is a loaded one. It's intertwined with the paying of dues we have to go through throughout our professional careers, as well as part of a trap many fall into on their first job. Now, all too many have a really hard time breaking out of. And it's also part of the not putting in my LA time in yet perception that many hold against you when you're looking for a break. It's also a question weighed against you further along your career with the misconceptions of affordability or misconceptions of an unwillingness to be in a subordinate position. All of that and more coming up. Welcome to episode 40 and season 4 of Hollywood Unapologetic. My name is Orlando Delbert. Today I want to talk about filmmaking essentials. What do you want to do? Film and television production has changed a lot since inception due to many driving forces. Everything from politics to technical initiatives has changed the art of the moving picture to what is seen today. There are many similarities to the political world because of the amount of power and liquid availability of money and resources to those at the top. It may shock you that what I mean by resources, well, that's you. There is a never-ending sea of young talent just like you willing to take a chance to make it. What do you want to do is the question you're going to be asked almost every time you meet with someone. It sounds like an innocent enough question, but it is a loaded one. Many who come to Hollywood to live a dream eventually get a shot at doing production. Even if you want to be in front of the camera, chances are you may end up working for a production house or a post-production facility. Most will start out having a production assistant's job and be one of the producer's yelling posts. Sans the yelling, being a production assistant can be a great opportunity for someone with little or no experience, but could also be a vicious trap. So many people have dreams of going to Hollywood and becoming a star. This is wonderful. It can happen with the proper preparation and direction. The dream becomes a reality for some, but too many are bled of their dreams and used until there's nothing left to give. Some end up homeless or just found dead in dumpsters, unfortunately. Many people will tell you that you're better off staying at home doing whatever you do in your tiny little town, and in some ways, you are better off. Don't get me wrong. It's a rewarding experience to receive an award in the business if you are fortunate enough to work with talented individuals on a project of note. Of course, you have to get the opportunity to work on such a project, hope your name was submitted to be on the list, be nominated, win, and in many cases pay for the award. No, the big awards, believe it or not, are not free. You actually do have to pay for them. Years ago, the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences gave a free statue to each of the winners, but not so in recent years. The entity you work for may spend hundreds of thousands of dollars per year towards campaigning, including application fees per episode and per category for consideration, cover design and production of DVD mailers, and screening shows at the Academy Theater and online through the Academy's website. The individual winners would pay for the cost of the statue and or certificate. The actuality is that the first 10 years of your professional life in Los Angeles will most likely consist of crappy waiter or mailroom jobs and being yelled at by a parade of tight-fitting sweater vest-wearing wannabe knucklehead producers because their latte is just not wet enough. I've known so many people that are stuck in the independent film circuit, the reality television circuit, the awards show circuit, or one of the other circuits. All these can be good places to be, but the trap comes from having a job as a production assistant or on an awards show that you took because you needed to pay your rent and eat that month. You work the long hours, get very little sleep, but are grateful your life is finally moving forward. This is true except that people begin to associate you with that particular job. You become known as being a production assistant that only works for awards show. This is the trap. Get my point? Regardless of the fact you may already be an award-winning director, no one cares. You have to pay your dues. Christopher was an award-winning editor. His family decided to move to Los Angeles and go for the big money and the quality of life living in Southern California could bring. He left first to line up a job and then planned to call for the family once he had some level of stability. After looking for work in Los Angeles for 6 months, Christopher ended up as a 40-something-year-old pizza delivery man, driving around in his late model Lexus just to support the family. This was his only job for the next year and a half until he lined up his first job as an editor. He told me that he was informed at every interview that he had not put in his LA time yet, regardless of his 5 Emmy Awards and the long list of projects he's worked on. Christopher eventually had the opportunity to be a picture cutter on a somewhat successful but now canceled soap opera and has won more Emmy Awards since. It just reminded me of a story of a friend of mine who's a runway model, and she does a lot of print work. And when she first started modeling professionally, she heard the same thing for at least 4 years. Thing is, she's born and raised here, and she still heard it. But it still came down to not putting in your LA time in yet. For the first 3 to 4 years in Los Angeles, I kept hearing the ever-popular line about not putting in my LA time yet over and over again. By the time I stopped hearing it, I had already been part of an award-winning team, and together we received multiple Emmy Awards and nominations. And unfortunately, winning awards in and of itself can be a trap. I learned the hard way that for many fellow award winners, this could mark the beginning of the end of one's career. This is especially true on the creative end. Gradually, the misconception about your affordability trumps the fact that you just want to keep working and earning a living. I was at a comedy club one night to see a friend perform and met up with other friends there. A very established sound designer and editor named Robert sat at our table. As the conversation progressed, he told me he just sold his house, all of his sound equipment, and even his Porsche, all for a loss. Robert explained to me that his client base dropped by half after winning his first Emmy Award. Then it dropped by yet another half by his second award. By his third award, his phone stopped ringing altogether. He tried to hold on as long as he could, but was forced into early retirement by the age of 50. All 3 awards were won for work that he has done on a very successful science fiction television show. I have been on the phone countless times with a producer looking for a motion or production designer or an art director. They will often get through a third of my reel before I'll hear, "I just can't afford you." Click. The door has just been closed forever. Also, after they hear I've had several Emmy Awards. Click. Once again. It's very disconcerting to me that I can be so easily discarded after being heralded as one of the top in my chosen profession due to misconceptions of affordability or misconceptions of an unwillingness to be in a subordinate position. The reality is that I'm just like anyone else who just wants to earn a living. It simply becomes survival. In other episodes, I talk a little bit about the gatekeepers that are in and all around LA. Some of the gatekeepers that I've spoken about, they end up in managerial positions. Most of them are yes men or women and become part of a popular clique within a company department. They are lacking in what they do in most cases, but have been able to hire heavy hitters to come to do the grunt work. Those same heavy hitters are often the ones that already have extensive backgrounds in their chosen fields, or just really good at what they do. The managers get all the credit and the big checks, while those same heavy hitters are often discarded for younger and less costly alternatives. There is usually a preference for the young and inexperienced with no families. These individuals are perceived to be more malleable to what the client may want and are more likely to be available whenever needed on a moment's notice. Long hours and flexible shifts can be yours for the taking if there are no children to take care of at home. This really is a fickle industry. You may never hear from a prospective client or job ever again if you are not available at the drop of a hat when they call you. This turns into a vicious cycle because the heavy hitters become paid freelance mercenaries to fix problems at the last hour. Often the phone will ring for a job needing someone that very moment to turn around a project within the next couple of days. The pay is usually less than what you would normally charge at your full rate, and once everything is said and done, you're left with a lukewarm goodbye and a look that says, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. You may even hear under-the-breath comments and muffled laughter. This above scenario is very common in the creative end of the entertainment industry. I have always been considered a mercenary of sorts. I've often been brought in at the end of a project to fix what was needed instead of being brought in at the beginning. This certainly was not my answer when I asked myself, what do you want to do? But just like everyone else, I found myself taking the work because we all need to be able to eat today. There are also many times when you may not receive due credit for your work. For example, I was hired by 2 different owned and operated television stations in 2 different cities where I earned the managers and producers Emmy Awards for the work that I had done. In both cases, I was the only designer who worked on each project but was not included on the award consideration list when it was submitted. I'm pretty sure there may be more awards that I was partially or fully responsible for. I just don't see the point of looking for them because there's no way to realistically get the credit for my labors. Here's another instance for consideration. I was an art director for a web development company for a few months. I was hired to redesign many of their major clients' websites. It made sense to the CEO to bring in someone with my level of experience in entertainment because a large number of their clients were entertainment companies. I completed the redesign and delivered templates for an event the company was gearing up for. I was then escorted out the day after the event with no warning or explanation as to why. I wasn't even allowed to gather my things left in the office. I found out later that I was no longer needed since all of the redesign work was completed. My replacement was some kid just out of school who worked for around $7 an hour. It added insult to injury that my work earned the company more than 80 awards the first year with no credit to me whatsoever. I've shared these examples because I took a chance at situations that did not entirely fit what I wanted to do out of a need for survival. I was given false hopes of job security, medical benefits, and a retirement plan. Those promises would have made almost anyone settle for security over the constant hustle and ever-tiring process of looking for the next job. However, survival requires taking chances, having multiple game plans, and the plasticity to adjust to any given situation, especially in an industry like this. Before hopping on that bus or packing your car to head west, you need to be able to answer the following question clearly. What do you want to do? Be wary of the trap that many fall into. Many find their first job upon arrival dictating what their professional life will be like while they are in Los Angeles. Most individuals who end up on the production side will stay in the type of productions or type of jobs they begin with. And of course, there are and have been exceptions. The way the system works does not always reward those with talent and drive. Those with talent and drive are often viewed as a competitor instead and threaten those gatekeepers I've mentioned earlier. Those same gatekeepers are often in the way of opportunities to build direct relationships with the true decision makers and those who handle what truly matters in Hollywood: money. Remember, many of the gatekeepers are not as exceptional as they have been told they are throughout most of their lives. They are the ones answering the phones and making the appointments for the true decision makers. Be careful. All too often they will see true talent walking down the halls when it arrives. They have the ear of those with the power to make or break the entry into the cool kids club. Keep quiet. Don't let them know you are better than they are, even if you are. Many of them will heave the little power they have against you like a freshly manicured iron fist to your heart, livelihood, and wallet. It's very much like being left punch drunk by a zero-size woman who can't finish sentences. Just keep smiling, and whatever you do, don't ever cry in front of them. I urge you to have a solid answer to what you truly want to do. Make sure that while you follow your plans for conquering the world with your emotive monologues of Achilles or William Shakespeare, you have several backup plans as well. Consider honest options for employment while going after your dream. Don't be too proud to run lights at a blockbox theater if that means you have the possibility of becoming part of a theater troupe. Don't be too proud to be a production assistant for a small production company just because Spielberg's publicist hasn't returned your call yet. Make your plan, stay focused, be flexible, be prepared. You got it? The world is greatly influenced by what is seen on the screen and heard on the radio. Let's be the new Hollywood generation. Let's give the world something that will drive everyone to do something bigger and to make a positive difference in this world. Something I'd like to leave you with. We're all in it together. Each and every one of you is an important part of our future. You're important to the lives of those who surround you. You're important to your communities. You're important to our industry. And no matter what, remain optimistic and focused on your goal. Never stop believing in yourself. Always remember you are the key to your own success. Take a breath. Move forward. Together, let's create a revival, the resurgence of Hollywood, and bring back the auteur to cinema. Be an active part of the new Hollywood generation. You are a representative of the new Hollywood generation. And please subscribe to our channel and share. Don't forget to check out our other videos in the series and follow the link below to check out our swag. Thanks. Join Hollywood Unapologetic in our quest to positively empower one another, to empower our industry in the true pursuit of our Hollywood dreams and in life. Hollywood Unapologetic is a continuation of the Pollyanna's tear-soaked Battlefields of Hollywood, a survival guide against the cynicism and the hypocritical series of books designed to help you better prepare for success. Together, we are the new Hollywood generation. Welcome to Hollywood Unapologetic.